And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our Qso-Vlog network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the loudest, best sounding station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the Qso-Vlog network with the phrase, if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. And today, we're currently featuring over 2,400 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. And you can access these recordings by going to YouTube and doing a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. And we also have a new series called KC9VKV Highlights. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. Both KC9VKV Logbook and KC9VKV Highlights are segments of our main YouTube homepage of Jim's Radio Story, where we celebrate a 50-year career in commercial broadcasting, a 50-year journey from a 5-watt pirate radio station as a 12-year-old to production director of a major 50,000-watt AM broadcast facility. And the thing that makes this truly a unique story is that I have the actual audio masters from all along the way. Over 2,600 shows, including many full-length major music concerts and radio documentaries. You'll have to check it out and subscribe. Jim's Radio Story on a YouTube search. Our mission statement for the Qso-Vlog network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics in current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher degree of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 4 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia, trying to get the best copy for my 100-watt friends. Now the audio from these 4 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also on the selector is our local receiver audio. And today, our local receiver is running 3 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed at 0 degrees, one aimed at 90 degrees, and the number 3 is aimed at 134 degrees. These are run as a directional scanner array with a manual voting system 6-position rotary selector. Also today, on the transmit side, we'll be running our no SWR, specially oriented resonant dipole antenna. One leg of this resonant dipole runs broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg runs broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today, we'll be running our input source indicator. So when we switch from an internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube Qso-Vlog video. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destination QSA5 to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, we pray that you'll protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history with dark clouds all around, we pray that you will reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters. And through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this part of the band has many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I would appreciate all stations checking into our Qso-Vlog net to keep their bandpass to no wider than 100 to 2900. And again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. And now let's check in and see if Charlie, K1GCL, is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation. Charlie's QTH is up north in northern New Hampshire, near the Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy?
Charlie, got a copy? Yes, Jim, I have a 15 to 25 over 9 copy on my 7300 direct. You're doing a terrific job. Clear as a bell, like you're right here in the room. Are you copying me okay over there? Go ahead.
Yes, sir, Charlie. 30 over on Milford, Roger.
Yes, sir, Charlie. 30 over on Milford, Roger. Okay, well, thank you. My output getting to the antenna is not much more than 70 watts. 70 watts. I got an awful lot of cable going over to the antenna. I had a tremendous contact with Captain Mike, KX4 Whiskey Charlie, today, of course, the 27th of January 2023, and I picked him up over western Nebraska. His ground speed at times was up close to 600 miles per hour, heading from Sacramento, California to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And it's amazing with an 8-foot antenna on the upward part of the tail, what he actually can do with that. And yet on the ground, I did talk to him briefly on 40 meters. Now, we were on 20, but we switched to 40 because he was closer in. And on 40, he was hitting 30 over 9 right from the tarmac, right on the ground. But anyway, here is Captain Mike. I first got him in western Nebraska. I think he had just crossed over from Wyoming. Here he is.
We, K1GZL, KX4 Whiskey Charlie, we're right now in south central Nebraska at 370, showing 1,130 miles from Philadelphia. ETA again, Charlie, is 1:30 Eastern Time, and the temperature up here right now is minus 51 Celsius. K1GZL, KX4 Whiskey Charlie.
65 below Fahrenheit.
You're 59 plus, over.
Okay, there's a little bit of a delay here. Okay.
KX4 Whiskey Charlie is over Kirksville, Missouri. Just coming up close to, about to come over the Mississippi River here. We're about, let's see, it looks like about 90 miles north of St. Louis at 37,000. 760 miles to go, Charlie. And you're 59 plus. Back to you. But let me see if Greg is hearing me and Charlie. WA3ZDI. Any copy on us there, Craig? Go ahead. It's 4 Whiskey Charlie. We're 30 miles from where Charlie used to live back in, 1943? Springfield, Illinois. We're rapidly approaching Springfield at 515 knots, Charlie, so we're moving along at 37,000 towards Philadelphia with about 700 miles to go. You're 5-9 plus, Charlie. K1GZL, KX4 Whiskey Charlie. 30 miles east of Springfield. But, yeah, you definitely are getting up there on the signal there. Won't be too long. We're got a nice 75-knot tailwind, so we're doing almost 540 knots across the ground, so it won't be too much longer. But nice hearing you in there, Tom. K1GZL, KX4 Whiskey Charlie with Craig signing out. Be around there, right around 12:30 in that general area. But that's the time where Mike wanted to try to initiate the contact, because we'll approach Worthington quite rapidly there from that part of Ohio. But that's where we'll be, right around 12:30. We'll be just south of Toledo. Go ahead. Philadelphia facing northwest, Charlie. You're about a 5757. 40 meters upper sideband, K1GZL, KX4 Whiskey Charlie. KD2,
Okay.
At K1GZL, KX4 Whiskey Charlie on the ground, Philadelphia, 40 meters upper sideband, Charlie. You're about a 5555 on the ramp in Philadelphia, K1GZL, KX4 Whiskey Charlie.
Okay, Jim, I know that was longer than it should be, but I'm wondering if you could copy. It's remarkable what they can do with that amount of lower power and small antenna, but even on the ground, right there, and I don't even favor that area with my quad here. I really don't. He's considerably off the side, on the southeast side. KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. Well, I'm still thinking, even on the ground now, he has a height advantage, because that tail section where that antenna is probably 50 or 60 feet above the ground. Roger.
Probably 50 or 60 feet above the ground. Roger. Yes, that is correct. That is correct. However, I think what might be happening also is the fact that since the plane is metal, made out of metal, it acts like a ground plane with some of the RF, even though it's just an 8-foot antenna, bouncing off the top of the plane and coming up my way, because he was, I believe, pointed north, and I'm northeast of where he was. But even so, I've seen him the other direction, pointed south, and I'm off the back of the plane. He's not quite as strong, but he still can be as much as 20/9 off the back of the plane on the ground. However, the other day he was going from east to west, and peaking almost 30/9 as he was traveling on a northern extension of his route. He was over South Dakota, and going 20, 25, almost 30/9 off the back of his plane. But it just shows that when you get good propagation, you can get away with anything. But when the band gets lousy, it's horrible. Go ahead.
Oh, that's true. You don't go anywhere without good propagation. And I was also thinking about his antenna system now. That antenna is running up the tail section vertical stabilizer in the front of it at just a little bit of an angle. But, it could be that the rest of the plane is the ground radials, and so he has almost a perfect vertical radiator, Roger.
Almost a perfect vertical radiator, Roger. Yes, to a degree, I think you're correct. I think you are correct on that, Jim. but it's unbelievable what can be done. Can be done given the right propagation, right conditions, and the band conditions also cooperating. And your signal is absolutely marvelous. There it is. I hope.
You know it.
What?
Power radios, and so he has almost a perfect vertical radiator, Roger.
Okay, I had a couple seconds of a problem in the beginning of that, but I hope you copied. Well, it's a load of fun. It really is. Okay, my next schedule with him is tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. as on 20 meters, around 14,222 as he goes from east to west, as he goes back out to Sacramento. And then next Wednesday he goes from Sacramento back to Philadelphia. Okay, Jim, I won't hold it any longer. There are many stations probably would like to get a report from you, but I'm glad you could copy the low power that I'm running here, out to your direction. I would imagine you may be copying me direct out there. The way I'm copying you, you're doing a beautiful job. Tremendous copy. Direct, as I have no SDR capability. KC9VKV, always a pleasure, Jim. K1GZL, and thank you for letting me come aboard.
Roger, Charlie, 73 up that way, sir, and you can, have a great day and a beautiful afternoon and a great weekend. And hopefully everything will be copacetic, and you'll join us next Friday if all possible. 73, sir. And this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. My name is Jim, better known in some circles as Dr. VKV. And we are recording now live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We'll post this recording up on YouTube in the next couple of days. So when you go to YouTube, just do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. And that'll take you to our YouTube Qso-Vlog page, where we're currently featuring over 2,400 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. This recording will be cut number 1 in that series, and I'll have it posted by noon tomorrow. And also we have a new series called KC9VKV Highlights. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. These are some of our less technical and more human nature philosophical kinds of QSOs. You'll have to check it out, KC9VKV Highlights on a YouTube search. And so without further ado, let's open up the thing, and if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. November X-ray, number 8, Bravo.
8 Bravo, Roger, what's the name there?
8 Bravo, Roger, what's the name there? Yeah, name here is John. And we're located southeast Indiana, right across the border from Cincinnati. So we're running 100.
All right, John, I just tried you on my local antenna. I could not copy you there. Why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system? Let me see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
Your antenna system. Let me see if I can find a better path for us, Roger. Oh, okay. Yeah, we can do that. It looks like a broken dipole, but I got a flat match on it. No tuner whatsoever. It's a dipole. It's half horizontal, half sloper. So it's a cross-pin dipole and a inverted L. Then at the corner, and it's down 1-to-1 choke balance. Of course, you need that. So then the angle is 155 degrees. If you're just using it on the one side, it's 65 degrees. So it's half a dipole, half sloper, and you can adjust that sloping part up and down and adjust your match. So we'll get the amplifier on here later, but we'll see how you sound. I sound on your end, as I meant to say. Back to you, NX8B, Indiana, over.
Roger, John, I've got you on my local antenna now. You're about 15 over, but it's kind of fading a little bit. Propagation is not real absolutely solid, but when you're in there, boy, it really sounds good. What radio are you running today, sir?
It's the FTDX 3000 by Yaesu, and I'm using the internal microphone adjustments, and then I am running the NRAD microphone system. Matter of fact, I like it so much I bought another one, so I got another radio set up for 80 meters. The NRAD DMS-1 base, and then the microphones, the NRAD 629. They've got different microphones, and has the XLR plug on the end, so you can use it with different microphones if you like. So there you go.
Roger, John. Well, if you'd be interested in our setup procedure, starts with you double checking to be sure you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit band pass mode. 100 to 2900 we recommend. That's the best configuration for that transmitter width, Roger.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, that's not much far, so I might even do that to the other one. I have a TS9 early FT950 on 80 meters, so we might go ahead and readjust that one too while we're at it. Appreciate it very much, over.
Yes, sir, because what that does is open up the top end. 2900 is, obviously you can go wider than that, but then you start knocking on other people's front doors and they get upset. So 2900 is a nice band pass to get some great fidelity. And then usually on our setup procedure, we start with compressor on at a 3. That's a token amount. You'll never hear it on the air, but it helps us arrive at our 3 dB dynamic range at the end of the setup. Roger.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'll try to set that up and get back with you and see what it does, over.
All right, and then if you wanted to take notes, the thing after that would be set your ALC. And we have found that about 2/3 on the ALC meter is ideal. And you can do that. We have a word called audio. And you just say it like you would say any other word in a QSO, but to stretch out the front of it, audio, and you become a human test generator. And then as you say that word and you adjust your mic gain until your ALC is 2/3, Roger?
Copy. Yeah, I'm not sure where it's at. I'll have to go up there and check it here, but we'll carry on and do that there. Appreciate the help, over.
Roger, John. ALC is the Bible for that radio, for anybody's radio. It'll tell you more about what's going on in that radio than your friend down the street. So, always, and, if you switch mics or whatever, always go back to your ALC and double check your level, because not all mics are created equal or the same. Roger?
Well, we got you there. Okay. Yeah, I had to go back to the other menu there and do that, so I'm just trying to look here. Oh, there's the processor, so then I have to go and adjust as to how much. So let me take a standby here and I'll get back with you.
Yes, sir, John. We'll be on the air till 5, so if you get a chance, join us back again. 73 for now. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Oscar 4 Charlie Delta Bravo.
Kilo Oscar 4 station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Kilo Oscar 4 Charlie Delta Bravo.
Charlie Delta Bravo, Roger, and what's the name there?
My name is Kelvin.
Kelvin, you might have hit your VFO. We're on 7188.00. 7188.00, Roger?
Yes, I accidentally bumped it.
Roger. So the name is Kelvin, is that a Roger?
That is correct.
Roger, Kelvin, and where are you located, sir?
I'm located just southwest of Atlanta, about 30 miles in South Fulton County.
All righty. Kelvin, why don't you give me a little bit, about 10 seconds or so, tell me about your antenna system, and let me see if I can find a better path for us, Roger?
All right. You're saying off-center set? Just running the FPDX12. About 80 watts or so.
Roger, Roger. Kelvin, and what were the radio that you're running this afternoon?
It's a FPDX 1200.
Roger that, sir. Well, gosh, I can't get into my Georgia SDR. It seems to be a little busy. Maybe let me try that. Just for instance here, check real quick and see if I can get into Atlanta. Maybe, no, not there. Maybe Simmons Island. Not there. It's a busy day on the SDRs. I'm back into my North Carolina, and I do have a pretty good copy on my local antenna on you, sir. If you'd be interested in our setup, it starts with you making sure that you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. Roger.
I think you lost him.
Kevin, this is KC9VKV. Do you copy?
I do. I'm getting into the menu now.
Ah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. That would be in settings, transmit, sideband, and 100 to 2900 would be the width, transmit width, 100 to 2900. Roger.
Yes, let's see.
You may have three different settings there. This would probably be the widest, 100 to 2900.
Can't remember exactly which number it is.
Yes, so would you like to take notes and then you can crank the stuff in later, maybe?
It's menu number 104.
Kelvin, 104?
Yeah, I'm getting there. $200 to $2,800.
Yes, sir. Okay, move it up to 100 to 2900. That's what we want. 100 to 2900 should be the one just above that. The widest one should be 100 to 2100, or maybe you can manually set that one to 100 to 2900.
All right, 100 to 2900 is selected.
Excellent, sir. Now, what that does, it gives you the best possibility of sounding good for your radio, because the lesser ones are chopping off the top end of the audio spectrum, and that's where all the articulation is, and when you start rolling that top end off, you start losing your articulation, and there goes the neighborhood, because people have more of a difficulty in understanding the words that you're saying. So, we're in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. Next thing would be move to your compressor with mic gain in hand, and I'm sorry, just set the compressor at 3. That's a 3 out of 30 or 30 out of 100. 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100 on your compressor. Roger, just a third of it, Roger.
It's already set at 2.
Roger, we'd suggest a 3, but if that's difficult for you, just leave it at 2. It's no big thing, but we do recommend a 3. Roger, Roger.
Okay.
All right, now we would move to the ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you say the magic word audio and stretch out the front of that, so you become a human test tone generator, audio, spoken just as you would speak any other word in a QSO, and with your mic gain, adjust your ALC meter for 2/3. Roger?
All right, 2/3 of the way.
Roger, Roger. Now, do you know how to get to your tone control page, your equalizer?
Yes, I'm there now.
Alrighty, I would suggest, what kind of equalizer do you have, sir?
It's just the
Yes, sir. Is it a 3-band or 8-band, or what is that? What type of equalizer do you have?
It is 3-band.
A 3-band?
Correct.
Yes, sir. Okay. On that treble control, you want to go plus 3 clicks boost from where you are. On the treble control, 3 clicks boost from where you are. Roger, roger.
The bandwidth is set at 3, the level is set at 10, and the frequency is set at 2100.
Ah, so is that a 3-band EQ? Can you go to 2700? 2700 is the ideal frequency for your top-end EQ. If you have an adjustable EQ on treble, that 2700 would be great. Roger.
All right, 2700 is selected.
Yes, sir. Okay, and then plus 3 from where you are. Plus 3 clicks boost at 2700 from where you are. Now, go ahead with that, and I just wanted to check to see if you have an adjustable bandwidth on that equalizer. Do you have like another adjustment, like a 4 or 5 on that 2700?
I do have bandwidth, and it is set on 3.
Okay, move that to 4. Move that to 4. The 2.7K to 4 width. Roger, roger.
Okay, bandwidth is set at 4.
All righty, go one more click boost at 2.7. One more click boost at 2.7. Roger.
All righty.
All right, and now I want you to tell me in 10 seconds or so the best thing you like about your radio.
The best thing I do like about it is it hasn't given me any problems whatsoever.
Roger, Kevin. I just checked on Milford for another option, but obviously I'm not receiving you on Milford. I'm copying you fairly well on my local antenna, though. Roger, roger.
Roger.
So I think we've got it. What is your let's see, your center frequency? Is it flat? It should be flat. That mid frequency should be flat. Roger.
Frequency is set at 1500. The power level is at 0, and the bandwidth is at 1.
Yes, sir. So it's neither cut nor boost. Roger, roger.
QSO.
Yes, sir. All right. And now it's on your baseline, your bass EQ. What is the setting on that?
The frequency is at 300. The level is at 1, and the bandwidth is at 1.
All right. Can you move that to 200?
Okay, 200 is selected now.
All righty. 200 and a width of 4. 200 with a width of 4.
All right, the bandwidth is set at 4 with a frequency of 200.
All right, sir. Now I want you to roll off 2 clicks, minus 2 clicks boost, not boost, but minus 2 clicks. Minus 2 clicks on that 200, Roger.
All righty, minus 2 on the level is selected.
Yes, sir. And I want you to be about 3 inches off that mic, 3 or 4 inches off the mic. Roger, roger.
Okay, about 4 inches talking past the side of it, or the front of it.
Okay, now, did you move just 3 or 4 inches? It sounded like you really did a bunch. Come back to where you were. In retrospect, come back to where you were, Roger.
Okay, I'm about 2 inches from two fingers width from the top of the mic.
Yes, sir. Now, did you go to 3 on your compressor? Did you come up to 3 on your compressor?
I did not. I'm not sure which setting it is. I can't remember. I haven't been in the menu in so long.
Yes, sir. Okay, I want you to go back to your ALC and reset double check to reset your ALC level. Audio, and mic gain until your ALC is 2/3. Roger.
Just about 2/3.
All right, I think it's sounding pretty good. I would like to hear you just a little bit more. Tell me, if you would, about your Elmer. Do you have maybe some shout out for your Elmer, Roger?
I do. A friend of mine actually that I met while talking on the CB and ended up going to some ham fest with, and I can't think of his call sign off the top of my head, but he talked me into it, and went to the ham fest with him, and ended up coming back to this radio and general life.
Roger, Kevin. And why don't you go back to your treble control and adjust 2 more clicks boost at 2.7 on your treble EQ, plus 2 clicks additional EQ boost at 2.7, Roger.
All right, the level is at 10. I can adjust the bandwidth.
All right, and that's good. So you went to 2 clicks additional boost from where it was, Roger?
It's already at level 10. It only goes up to 10, but I can adjust the bandwidth.
No, let's leave that at 2.7 or whatever. 4 is good. Let's go back down to your baseline and roll off 1 more click bass. 1 more click of bass, minus 1 click bass EQ. Roger?
All right, that has been done. I'm at -3 now.
Yes, sir. And maybe 1 more. Let's try 1 more roll at 200. Roger?
Okay, -4.
All righty, and I want you to tell me, about your microphone for about 10 seconds, Roger.
So I also got this microphone at the Ham Fest. It's just a HM12 on a little cheap boom, and I got a little remote for it, push to talk.
Roger, when you say boom, are you talking about a boom on a headset or just a boom microphone system?
It's just mounted to the desktop.
I got you. It's sounding good, sir. I think we got it pretty good there, and the thing is, be consistent. I tell you what, why don't you leave your ALC meter out for a while and just be looking at it when you're talking, and you want to keep that ALC meter in the sweet spot, and that's at 2/3 level, so you might have to tweak your mic gain just a little bit one way or the other to keep you right in that sweet spot of 2/3 on your ALC. Roger?
Will do. I appreciate it.
I think we got it. And if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that'll take you to our Qso-Vlog page. This will be cut number 1 in a series of 2,400 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
All right. Thank you very much. You have a good day and a good weekend coming up.
Roger, Kevin, 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog Net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Hi, Jim. This is K9EID.
Hi, Bob. How you doing?
I am doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fine, sir. Gosh, pleasure to have you aboard, sir.
Yeah, I've been working here repurposing some of my radios and the different consoles, moving them around a little bit, and I've been listening and consoles moving them around a little bit. Your work is impeccable, and I appreciate all.
Yes, sir. I was going to go up to Milford to get a copy on you there, but I've got you. I'm running 2 radios. I've got a pretty highly modified Yaesu 990 that I have been using for a great while, and I'm just moving over to a 7300, and this is probably about the 5th time I've used a 7300, and gosh, you're wall-to-wall frequency response-wise.
It's all barefoot. This is in 7851, and one of our high ICMs, which I was commissioned by Dr. Inouye to build for ICOM, and it doesn't work on anything else, but it works great on ICOMs. And as you know, they have a lower gain preamplifier, and so just not anything will work into them. But that's what we did here, and the ICM works on everything of ICOM. But sure good to hear you, and I'm just barefoot on this 7851, and always resonant dipole at about 40 feet.
Yes, sir, resonant dipoles. I believe in those wholeheartedly. That's what we're running here. We have a lot of different receive antennas, but we're always transmitting on our resonant dipole. And, you know, what I've been doing is just formula for trimming those dipoles is I use the ground side as a SWR adjustment and the high side to bring it back on frequency, and I keep going back and forth, and it's probably about 0.04 right now, Roger.
Yeah, well, that's great. Anything under about 2, we're okay.
Yeah, that's a Roger. Well, certainly good to hear you, sir, and let me say 73 to you.
Okie-dokie. Well, have fun, and thanks for helping everybody, Jim. Okie-dokie. Well, have fun, Jim. This is great. This is K9EID, Belleville, Illinois, in the shadow of St. Louis Arch.
Roger. 73, sir. This is KC9VKV in the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, that incidentally was Bob Heil. Thank you, Bob, for dropping by. I really appreciate that. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Radio you want to check out, give me a shout. Check out, give me a shout.
November 1, London, Quebec. Norway 1, Lima, Queen.
Lima Queen, Roger. What's the name there?
Lima Queen, Roger. What's the name there?
Good afternoon, Jim. KC9VKV from N1LQ. The name is Dave, and we're located 20 miles north of Boston, Massachusetts, QSL.
Roger, Dave, and what radio are you running today, sir?
Roger, Dave, and what radio are you running today, sir?
In the last week, Jim, I picked up a very nice ICOM 7410. Used. This has not been manufactured for a few years, but this one is in good shape. So we're running that with an electric condenser microphone. We're running our ALC at about 65%, our mic gain at about 40 to 45%, and just a whisper of processing. Doesn't have a lot of adjustments for EQing. It's more a range adjustment than particular frequencies. So there isn't a whole lot of adjusting I can do, but hopefully it sounds good. Sounds good in my monitor and my headphones anyway. HI. KC9VKV from N1LQ. Back to you.
Roger, Dave. It could use a little more top end, but we can do a lot of different things. We can do reverse proximity to microphone to shape up that top end just a little bit more. Maybe pull off a mic 1 inch or 1.5 inch further back. Might try that, Roger.
1.5 inch further back. Might try that, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, very much. KC9VKV from N1LQ. I haven't discovered all of the menu settings yet, and there are some tailoring for tone on transmit that I can probably do to put a little bit of more of the top end in. Right now, according to what I'm set at, it's supposed to be a low end of 100 hertz and a top end of 2900 hertz, and I just pulled the mic back about an inch farther than it was before. KC9VKV from N1LQ.
Roger. I think that increased the top end about 1.5 dB, and I think that is exactly what it needed. So just remember to work that mic just the way you did last time, and keep your ALC out so you can watch that as you're talking. You got to have something to do, so you might as well leave your ALC out. And as you're talking, you want to keep that ALC at 2/3, and so you can tweak the mic gain until you pretty much right in that sweet spot of 2/3 on your ALC meter, Roger.
Right in that
sweet spot of 2/3 on your ALC meter, Roger?
Yeah, Roger, we try to do that. In the past, I've been, pardon me, when I had less experience in all of this, I would tend to overdrive things. And so we're a little bit more conscious of not doing that too much. And, hopefully, I just turned the mic gain down just a whisper while I was talking to you, and I can hear in my headphones there is a bit of a difference. These electric condenser elements tend to be pretty hot compared to a dynamic element, and so we have to be conscious of that. I've learned that over the years as well. KC9VKV from N1LQ, and thank you for helping us out this afternoon.
Roger, Dave. Well, the thing about, your ALC, it really doesn't matter what the mic is because you set that level with your mic gain, and as long as you're not down at a 1 or something like that where you could be overdriving the front end for whatever reason it might be, and as long as you're up around a 4, 5, 6, 7, somewhere in there, just set that mic level until your ALC is 2/3, and with that setting, you will have a 3 dB dynamic range transmission, and at 3 dB, your average percent of peak modulation is going to be between 80 and 85%, which is very fat. Now, if you go past 3 dB dynamic range, your words start to warp and bend, and they become even more difficult to understand the more you pass the 3 dB dynamic range. So that's when we suggest running at 2/3. That'll keep your words crystal clear. Roger? Running at 2/3. That'll keep your words crystal clear. Roger?
Yeah, QSL, Jim, that's wonderful advice, and we'll take it to heart. And since I talked to you first about a year ago or more, I've tried doing that with some other rigs that I've had, and I've had pretty good luck with it. So we'll keep that in mind and watch it very closely here while we transmit. This was a very interesting radio. It was not highly marketed by ICOM, but what caught my eye is that it has many score of 5-star reviews on eHam. I mean, lots, like 150, 160, and they're hard to find. They get taken up so quickly, and I found one down for the fellow in North Carolina. He had just posted it, and I happened to just coincidentally seen the listing, and he was asking a very reasonable price. I expected to get a rig that was kind of beat up. When you buy used stuff, that's frequently what occurs. This thing came almost brand new in terms of physical condition, so I lucked out really well. So I don't generally run ICOM equipment, but this one I've been very pleased with, and the receiver is excellent. It really is quite good. Thank you for your help, Jim. I wish you best. We'll be back with you another week, maybe 2 or 3 weeks in the future. And we'll be looking for the recording tomorrow or Sunday whenever you get that post. It'll be fun to hear it. KC9VKV, thanks again from N1LQ. Always a pleasure. Appreciate your help.
Roger, Dave, 73, sir. Thanks for checking in, and if you get a chance, join us next Friday. And between now and then, if you get a chance to go to YouTube, do that call letter search, KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording, and again, we'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. All things being equal, and the creeks don't rise. 73. Catch you later. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Whiskey Alpha 8, Hotel Echo.
Roger, Hotel Echo, and what's the name there?
Roger, Hotel Echo, and what's the name there?
Name here, Steve, Sierra Tango Echo, Victor Echo, located southeast Michigan, about 60 miles north of Detroit, over.
Roger, Steve, and what radio are you running today?
Roger, Steve, and what radio are you running today?
It's a new one for me. It's ICOM 7300, and I'm using IL headset, the Bravo Mic 10, so it's the bottom of the line headset, but that's what I've got hooked up here.
Oh, Roger. Well, that 7300 is the radio of the century, I think. It's a great performer for the price, And so if you'd be interested in our setup procedure, Steve, it starts with you verifying that you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandpass mode, Roger.
100 to 2900 transmit bandpass mode, Roger.
Yep, Roger, I'm there. I've been listening to you for a couple of Fridays, so I've got everything set up to your standards there, and I think I'm having a little problem, though, with the headset. So I'm running my compression at a 3 and the mic gain at 25%, over.
All right, now that is a boom microphone on the headset, Roger.
All right, now that is a boom microphone on the headset, Roger.
Roger.
Okay, sir. Steve, I want you to take that boom and get it out as far in front of you as you can, and at the last minute take a 90 where you bring the element to your in line with your voice, but take that boom straight out in front of you as far as you can, and then at the last minute make that 90, Roger.
In front of you as far as you can, and then at the last minute make that 90, Roger.
Okay, it's extended as far out as it'll go, and I think when you say make a 90 on it, you want me to tilt it outward? Is that
Now, in other words, your boom is going straight out in front, and you want to make a 90 to bring that element into proximity to your, not proximity to your voice, but in line with your voice. In other words, don't bend it out to the right, bend it to the left so it's in front of you, Roger.
Bend it out to the right, bend it to the left so it's in front of you, Roger.
Okay, yep, Roger. It's I'm listening to the monitor. It sounds a little muffled on my monitor, but it's right there in front of my mouth right now.
All right, so now we want to go to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and I want you to say the word audio. And as you say that word, just as you would say any other word in a QSO, I want you to adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is reading 2/3. 2/3 on your ALC meter as you say the word audio, and adjust your mic gain to 2/3 on your ALC.
Audio, and adjust your mic gain to 2/3 on your ALC.
All right, sir. Yeah, I'm running full ALC here, so I'm going to bring it back. Audio. Oh, it's still pretty hot here. Audio. There we go. It's 3/4. So mic gain is down to 10%.
Roger, Steve. Well, that's why it was sounding kind of mushy, is because you were overdriving it at the moment. So now you've got that set. So I want you to go to your equalization page, your tone control page. That's settings and sideband and transmit EQ. And I want you to go plus 3 clicks additional treble EQ from where you are. I'm assuming you have a 3-band EQ, but advise me on that.
You are. I'm assuming you have a 3-band EQ, but advise me on that.
Okay, well, that's a very good question. I have not found that. I don't know where that is at. I've got one menu up here that has the monitor, the compression, the mic gain, and the RF power. And I know how to adjust the IF filter, but I don't see anything about equalization menu.
Okay, Steve, go to, there's a thing that looks like it's got a wrench. It's like an X, got a wrench on one thing, and it's called settings. Go to settings, go to transmit sideband tone control. So that's settings, transmit sideband tone control, and that should bring you to treble and bass for your transmit. And I want you to go 3 clicks boost treble EQ, Roger.
And I want you to go 3 clicks boost treble EQ, Roger.
Jim, I'm not seeing that, so maybe I should look at the manual and study my radio over a little more. I'm just not seeing what you're saying. So I'm still learning a lot on this radio. I'm really liking it, though. That's
The receive on it is phenomenal. It's unbelievable. I'm also got a Kenwood 590 SG here, and it's ICOM 7300 outperforms it hands down. So I don't want to tie up the whole net. Let me take a look here and see if I can find what we're talking about and make some adjustments, and maybe I can get back in before 5 o'clock, or I'll try another day. Roger.
Steve, hit menu. Menu should bring up settings.
Steve, hit menu. Menu should bring up settings.
Okay, yep, now I see the little wrench guy.
And then it's transmit sideband tone control.
Transmit sideband tone control.
Okay, yep. Now I'm thank you very much. Now I'm in the right place here. So tell me again what you want me to do.
Okay, +3 treble EQ boost. +3 treble EQ boost from where it is.
EQ boost. +3 treble EQ boost from where it is.
Okay, it was at a +1, and it's +4 now.
Okay, Steve, I'm getting quite a bit of trash coming off an adjacent channel. Why don't you tell me about your antenna system real quick, and let me see if I can get you on my local antenna.
Why don't you tell me about your antenna system real quick, and let me see if I can get you on my local antenna.
Okay. Pine tree, the ends are off the ground. 40 feet or pine tree, the ends are maybe 10 or 15 feet. It's a big G5RV. It's got, I think it's 60 foot of ladder line that feeds it after my coax. And it's sitting up in a pine tree. It's covered with snow today, over.
Yes, sir. Try one more click boost, treble EQ. One more click, additional boost, treble EQ. Roger?
Click boost, treble EQ. One more click, additional boost, treble EQ. Roger?
Okay, that's +5. That's up to +5, and I think that, don't know if that's the max or not. Yeah, that's the max, +5.
Yes, sir. I think that's got it. And you're at a 3 on your compressor. That's a Roger?
You're at a 3 on your compressor. That's a Roger? Roger, yep.
Great. I think we've got it, Steve. If you would like to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger?
And I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Okay, very good. And this other thing, now that I've found this submenu, the TX base is set at 0. What do you think of that?
Yes, sir. I think you sound great. I would leave it just like that. I would get the Gorilla Tape out and taper it down.
I would leave it just like that. I would get the Gorilla Tape out and taper it down.
Okay, well, very good, and thanks for your help. It definitely made an improvement in my on the monitor and my headphones. It's sounding pretty good here, so thank you very much from 73 WA8HHE.
Roger, Steve, 73, sir. Have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Victor Alpha 3 kilowatt Juliet, India.
Victor Alpha 3 station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Victor Alpha 3 station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Victor Alpha 3 Kilo Juliet, India. And the name here is Grant, QSL.
Roger, Grant, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
Roger, Grant, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
I am located on the north shore of Lake Ontario, about 35 miles east of the city of Toronto. Over.
Roger, so if I put you down as Toronto, would that be close enough?
So if I put you down as Toronto, would that be close enough?
That'd be close enough, yep. The city I live in is Bowmanville, but Toronto's the, 6 million people. It'd be the closest big city to us, over.
Roger, Grant. And what radio are you running today, sir?
Roger, Grant. And what radio are you running today, sir?
I am running a Kenwood TS590 Sierra, and the issue I'm having is with this headphone. I have a cheap set of Heil, like the very basic Heil with the HD6 cartridge, and I'm just wondering what kind of a signal I'm producing. Over.
It sounds pretty good, but we might run through it just to be sure we're doing the best we can. That's the thing about, what we try to do is get that radio performing at its max capabilities. And the first thing would be to be sure that you're in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth, Roger.
With 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth, Roger.
Roger, and you'll have to help me there, and I'm sorry, because I am fairly familiar with the radio, but the menus are quite extensive. So could you please tell me where I could find that so I am not sending you any false info, over?
Roger, Grant. Well, I'll tell you what might be the best thing. Let me give you some notes, and you take the notes and then crank them in as you find the things through your manual. Roger?
Crank them in as you find the things through your manual. Roger?
Yeah, Roger. That's awesome help.
All right, sir. First thing is you want to be in that 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. All right, note 2, you want to engage your compressor on at a 3. Compressor on at a 3, or processor on at a 3. We just need a third of the capabilities of that compressor processor. So compressor on at a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. Roger?
On at a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. Roger?
Roger. I'm writing them down. That's awesome.
All right, sir, then move to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and as you say the word audio, stretch out the first of that word. You become a human test generator, audio, and with mic gain in hand, as you say the word, adjust to where your ALC meter is running 2/3, and that's the best way to set your meters. Just we used to say speak quickly and adjust between mid-scale and 2/3, but when you say the word audio, it's so precise. You just take that mic gain and set that ALC meter right on 2/3. Roger?
Mic gain and set that ALC meter right on 2/3. Roger?
Roger. That's great.
Alrighty, and then to your equalization tone control page, and give yourself plus 2 clicks additional treble EQ from where you are. Plus 2 clicks treble EQ boost from where you are. Roger?
Plus 2 clicks treble EQ boost from where you are. Roger?
Roger. That's awesome.
And I would like to hear those numbers, so maybe next Friday you can check in with all those numbers applied and let me hear it, Roger.
You can check in with all those numbers applied and let me hear it, Roger.
Yeah, that'd be great. I think I should be able to do that. I'm just looking at my schedule on my head. And what time does the net actually run? We're running here, 2100, 2135 Zulu.
Roger. Well, it's 3:30 to 5 Eastern. 3:30 to 5 Eastern on every Friday, and we record and then lay it up onto YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger?
And then lay it up onto YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Wow, that's just fantastic. And can I have the details for so I can skunk around, I guess, on YouTube, over?
Just go to the call letter search KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. Will take you to our Qso-Vlog page, and there you'll find 2,400 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings to peruse. And we also have another feature called KC9VKV Highlights, which is some of our less technical and more human nature kinds of QSOs. Roger?
And more human nature kinds of QSOs. Roger?
Yeah, Roger. I just want to get the call sign again. Do I have it right? Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor?
Yes, sir. That's it. Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word either logbook or highlights, depending on where you want to go. Roger?
Either logbook or highlights, depending on where you want to go. Roger?
Roger. That's fantastic. I really appreciate your help. And, when I like 3 different adapters, because the main idea was I was going to use it for POTA on my 891, but since myself and my 891 have never left the house to do any POTA, I'm using it on my 590 instead of the handheld. Over.
Ah, yes, sir. Well, it sounded mighty good, and I think, obviously when you're in a remote situation, you're kind of hanging by your left arm, and, you want a radio that can operate remotely a mobile situation as opposed to a 800-pound whatever,
As opposed to a 800-pound whatever,
Exactly. It's funny, as we're talking, in the background, I'm updating a new to me computer. I bought a used computer to do POTA field work with FT8. FT8 I'm not super keen on yet because I like shooting the breeze. I'm a bit of a on FT8, over.
Ah, yes, sir. And I just was rolling around on some of my other SDRs to get a better copy, but I'm copying you best on Milford at the moment. So I think we got it there. So let me say 73, and you follow those notes and check back next Friday, Roger.
73, and you follow those notes and check back next Friday, Roger.
Roger. Love to do it, and thanks again. I can't thank you enough for being there. I've tried to get Facebook open to get them on help, but anyway, you guys, I'm just happy to spin in the dial. I heard this one before.
And we're seeing that play out with inflation. That should be itself, and we're seeing that play out with
Roger. 73, Grant. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. My name is Jim, and we record now live till 5. So if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
So if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Ah, well, just in time for this segment, the QRMer, a mental profile. First, you must understand that for the QRMer, deliberately interfering with your radio transmissions is a way of striking back, a way of getting even against a perceived enemy. You, yes, you, represent a threat to them, and they hate you for it. And QRMing brings them temporary joy and a sense of satisfaction as they try to obliterate you, obliterate their enemy off the air, because they are true, dedicated sociopaths, a severe form of mental illness. A sociopath is a term used to describe someone who has an antisocial personality disorder, better known as ASP. People with ASPD can't relate to other people's feelings because they're so self-centered and full of hate. They usually were spoiled as a child and allowed to do whatever they wanted in regards to acting out. They will often break rules or make impulsive decisions without feeling any guilt for the harm that they may cause. The general image of a sociopath is often as a killer, a con artist, or other lawbreakers, but it's not necessarily the case, because on the contrary, the nearest sociopath might be your boss, a partner, or a parent. While most sociopaths may not be literal outlaws, they do share certain traits with them. This includes a lack of remorse, a propensity for unfaithfulness, and a tendency toward behavior that benefits the sociopath at the expense of others. Ah, yes, that sounds to a T like our unfriendly QRMer.
T, like our unfriendly QRMer.
This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo 4, Lima, Japan, Echo.
Lima, Japan, Echo. Roger, Jim. What's going on, sir?
Yeah, hello, Mr. Jim. just got home from work there a few minutes ago. Just thought I'd come in here and say hi. And, yeah, it's a very pleasant good afternoon to you. Good to hear you. You're at least 20 over 9 down here, over.
Roger, well, I'm pedaling as fast as I can, Jim. I'm trying to get out, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, very good, very good. Yes, indeed. Well, Happy New Year to you. I don't think I've had a chance to say that to you. A little late there, but sorry about that. Yeah, we're running a different radio. We're running an ICOM IC775, which is pretty old, but she seems to be doing okay. It's circa late 90s to early 2000s, and we're running a kilowatt with the end-fed wire here, about 117 feet long, 30 feet up there. KC9VKV, K4LJE.
Roger, Jim. Might turn your volume up just a little bit more there. Check, bring up your ALC. It looks like you might be light into your ALC. Looking for 2/3 on your ALC by way of my gain control. Roger.
Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3. Let me go here. Let me do this. Okay. Hello. Audio. K4LJE. Hello.
I think you found it there. Are you using your outboard black box?
Yeah, and I had it a little low. I must have bumped it there, Roger.
Yes, sir. Sounds really good now. You got it under control. And let's see here. I'm missing something. No, I thought I was missing something. I guess not. It's been one of those afternoons,
Yeah, let me, okay, well, let's, okay, yeah, I got it now. Yeah, it came up there. I thought I turned the wrong button, but, yeah, as long as I'm not overdoing it there. I'm about 3 fingers width from the microphone, and I don't know if I ought to tell you this, but this is a vintage microphone. This happens to be a Motorola circa 1960 TU-532 100 ohm controlled magnetic cartridge desk mic that they used to use for the emergency services, sheriffs, and all kinds of police services there, Roger.
Oh, yes, it's got just a slight rise at 3KC, but you have a nice top end past that, and you have a nice bottom end, so that mic sounds very nice, Roger.
Yeah, it's about the best we can do it. I can't do nothing about the rise. I noticed that, but I can't do nothing about it. I just, especially since I heard Mr. Heil in here earlier, I just had to check in today, and I really appreciate the report there, and thank you very much, Jim.
Oh, yes, sir. Well, it sounds really good. Really, really good. And the thing is, if you get a bunch of bottom in there and Mother Nature decides to take your top end away through phase cancellation and you're left with all this bottom end, you become Mr. Mumble. So I'm not a real proponent of a great deal of bottom end. Something halfway pleasing on the bottom side and a lot in the top for articulation so that you can be understood in adverse conditions. Roger?
Yeah, I'm the same way, and I have learned, especially listening to a lot of people and you dealing with a lot of hams out there. That's really what really counts, and I appreciate everything that we can learn from KC9VKV. Okay, one question. Do you think I need to keep my fingers off of this one, or just leave it as is?
No, just leave it. Get that Gorilla Tape out and taper down. It's close enough. You're not really hot into your ALC. I mean, you could be a little bit warmer into your ALC. You're about 3.5 dB dynamic range, so you could be just a little hotter into your ALC for 3 dB dynamic range and still stay clean, and your average percent of peak modulation would be 80 to 85%. Roger?
Okay, there's a little bit more, just a tad bit more on the compression drive control that it has. That's a drive control for the compression there, Roger.
That's perfect. I would keep it just like that, and I would visit my local music store and get me a windscreen of a foam windscreen for that mic, Roger.
Okay, well, what I'll have to do is I'll have to take the head apart on the top of it and put one on the inside. It does not have one, but yeah, I can put one from the opposite side there, and that way it would never be seen.
No, you don't want to put it outside. You don't want to put it inside. You want to keep it outside. That's the thing about windscreens. And, a lot of manufacturers, mic manufacturers, have tried to put that windscreen inside the grill of the microphone. But the problem is that, if you're doing a stand-up with a hand mic out in 20 mile per hour winds, you're going to get whistling through the grill of the microphone. So that's why the foam windscreen is so nice, good, just to slip over the top of that microphone, because it breaks up the air currents even before it gets to the grill, and so that's why you want to keep that foam windscreen on the outside of your microphone. Roger.
Okay, all right, I appreciate that. That makes sense. Definitely makes sense, and very, very good. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to say this last thing I'm going to say, famous last words. It took a lot of effort to get this thing to even work. I'm telling you, they made it for the FM transmitters, and adapting this thing to just see how it could be done was incredible. It was a lot of effort to get this thing adjusted upright on the mixer board there, but yeah, thank you very, very much, and I hope things up there in Louisville, Kentucky are okay for you, and also 73s to all the hams out there this afternoon, and I guess I'll go ahead and cut off my little portion that I was allowed to come in here this afternoon. Thank you, Jim, and thanks to all the other hams out there, and good to meet, or good to hear Mr. Heil in here this afternoon. K4LJE, 73s all the way around. Now, go ahead, Jim.
Roger, Jim. Thanks for dropping by, sir. Always a pleasure. And that radio is just sounding choice right now. It's just perfect. Run it just like that. Break out your ALC. Keep an observation on that. Run it just like you were running it. And I know you'll love your recording. So, I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow to YouTube. So 73, and that's KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. And now you might enjoy our other group. It's called KC9VKV Highlights. That's what it is. And that would be just to call it a search followed by the word highlights. We'll take you to that. You might enjoy that also. 73, Jim, and we'll catch you later. Have a good afternoon, great weekend. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog Net. We've got about 3 minutes till, and time for one more. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Yeah, roger that, Jim. Sorry. Kilo 4, Yankee, Kilo, Juliet, KK4, YKJ.
That's YKJ, Roger?
Roger that, YKJ, Jim.
Roger there, and what's the name?
This is Steve at Taylorsville, Georgia. I'm just setting up a old heat kit SB104A.
That's a 104A, Roger?
Yeah, roger that. Heat kit SB104A.
Okay, you got a little distortion in there. What's the name?
Steve.
Okay, Steve, why don't you check your ALC for a level. Bring your ALC meter out, and as you say the word audio, spoken just as you would speak any other word in a QSO, adjust your mic gain until your ALC is running 2/3. Roger?
Oh, roger that. Audio, 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 audio.
Roger. Now, Steve, why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system?
You roger that. It's just a simple fed 73-foot dipole, wire dipole, headset.
All right. Sounds like, tell me about that 104 radio. Is that an older radio?
Yeah, it was built in 78 by Aircheck. It's a very simple radio. No tube, just 4 transistors, solid state. But it's built in 78.
Yes, sir. Now, do you have a plate tune on that and a plate load?
No, we don't have any of that on here. It's very simple. It's simply one knob, and it covers the mic gain and the output.
Roger. Well, it sounds like it's got a little distortion, and it's not necessarily related to peaks like you would normally think. Sometimes it was dying like in between words. It kind of just fell apart there. So it could be. Are you running any kind of power, Roger?
It's standard power. It puts out about 80 watts right now.
Roger, Roger. Now, maybe you've got it loaded too far. I mean, maybe you should. Is it designed to do 100 watts, or is it designed to do 70 watts, or what's the designation output power?
It's rated at 100 watts, so they say usually between 80 and 110, I think, depending on the frequency.
Roger. Well, Steve, it sounds like nonlinearity in the output stage. I'm not real sure why, but it does sound like it's nonlinear amplification. Like if you were doing low-level modulation and amplifying everything linearly on the output stage, then it's not amplifying the audio linearly. It is distorting the audio. So if you could back off the output a little bit, it might be cleaner. Roger?
Yeah, roger that. Also, I just switched the antenna. Does that make any difference? KISK.
I don't have that good a copy on you. You're about 3 dB max over my local antenna signal noise level, but try it again and let me listen to you.
Yeah, Roger. I had just switched the antennas now back to the original one.
I think the antenna's better. Because I've got a better copy on you. You still have that distortion. Still have the distortion. So if you have another mic, you might try another mic in there, Roger.
Yeah, that was going to be my next text. I don't want to hold you late because I know you get off at 5, but next week I'm going to try a different mic setup.
If you have another mic right there, go ahead and switch it. I can wait.
All right, roger that. Let me stand by.
This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog Net. My name is Jim, and we're talking to Steve down in Georgia, who's swapping mics on his 104 to see if that's going to help out or not.
Hi, Jim. Just want to tell you I appreciate your time and effort and really enjoy listening to you helping the guys. Whiskey 5 Delta X-ray Kilo.
X-ray Kilo. Roger, Roger. Thank you, sir. You have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. Appreciate you. This is KC9VKV.
Okay, Jim, I swapped mics, but it didn't have any output, so I'm back to the lollipop.
Roger that, Roger that. Well, you've got distortion there. I'll tell you what, you've got a mic gain control, Roger?
Yeah, the mic gain control is what I'm turning down right now, but it also affects the output power.
Yes, sir. Your sideband will be affected by your mic gain, but I want you to turn your mic gain down about half of what it is, and let me listen to you at that and see what happens to the distortion.
Okay, roger that. I'm turning it down now. Audio. Okay, I got it cranked way down now.
And does that mic level have numbers on it, where you were and where you are?
Yeah, I'm about 1/8 down, I guess.
Yeah, it's still got distortion, so you might as well take it back to where you were. The distortion is still there, so you might as well bring it back to where you were, Roger?
Okay, roger that. I'll set it up like this. I'll keep working on it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Needs a little work. You're running about 20% distortion. You've got the weekend to have at it, and I've got a sledgehammer if you need more heavier utensils.
Hey, roger that. I really appreciate your time. Thanks a lot, Jim.
Roger, Roger, Steve. 73, so I wish you luck. Well, Lagash, if you enjoyed our show today, and if you participated, if you go to YouTube, do a call out a search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, you will run into this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 2,400 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings, and we'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. So between now and then, I say by the clock on the wall, there's a dead fly. Ooh! So we got to get out of here, and we'll be returning this frequency back to normal amateur radio use. This is KC9VKV Clear.